Okay, so before we delete these untitles, let's try to do number 7. So, advanced, modify the chaos program so that it accepts 2 inputs and then prints a table with 2 columns similar to the ones shown in section 1.8. So just a little bit of spacing. Note, you will probably not be able to get the columns to line up as nicely as those in the example. That makes sense, right? Because why? Because we don't know how to do spacing yet, like really, really well. It wouldn't be as nice, but let's see if we can get it better. Chapter 5 discusses how to print numbers with a fixed number of decimal places. Page 25 is where we're at. Okay, so this is the last programming exercise in chapter 1. We've made it through chapter 1. So almost. So let's get this going here. So we're going to accept 2 inputs. We're going to print 2 columns similar to the one shown in section 1. Okay. So let's we're going to take 2 inputs. We're going to do this twice. Now, I had a teacher. I took a Pascal class years ago. I'm aging myself here. And then I didn't take a class for a long, long time. Got into English and other adventures. But I took a C++ class, and the guy was awesome. He Andrew Scholar here. He's solid, and he just reminded us to try not to copy and paste. Like, try to type stuff out, especially early on in your CS work, your CS career. So I'm gonna type this out. Okay. Enter a number between 0 and 1. So it's not really a number. I guess it's a number. I mean, I guess it's a number. I would say decimal just to make it a little bit more clear. I would just say decimal. It's a decimal. That's fine. I want to follow instructions. It's a number. It's just a decimal number. Okay, so enter a number between 0 and 1. Enter another number between 0 and 1. Okay, cool. Or you could say a different one, just to be very clear. A different number between 0 and 1. Let's show that. So we're going to call that y. So now, let's print x. So we're not going to print x and then print y, right? Because what's going to happen is, let's see. So we're going to try to make it look like 1.8. Well, let's look at 1.8. 1.8 is back on page 18. So inputs 25 and 26. Side by side, we can have them enter them separately, and then it prints out how they're going to look side by side. So they wouldn't print out x. You know what we'll do? We'll do this. We'll do comma. We'll do comma y. That's what we'll do. Now x is going to be a number. They're both floats, so we can't really concatenate them. I guess you could. Let's do x comma y, because I don't think we'll be able to say, oh, we'll do this also. Like, I'm pretty sure we're just going to do x comma y. Let's try it. Okay, so we're going to open our shell, and now we're going to go to open. So let's make sure we save it correctly first. Save as, because I keep having this little hiccup. Well, I keep having this little hiccup. All right, so Python replace, and I don't know, but yeah, I mean, this is what I do. Like, if I keep making mistakes, you kind of want to build a machine. You kind of want to build habits where you want to have efficiency. You want to go even faster. And I know there's so many ways that I can go even faster, but this is just early on, you want to just learn this stuff and just patiently learn, like, the right routes. All right, so we'll go to the desktop. Make sure that in that Python folder, which I put everything. And see that it was modified at the same time, and then also double check that I got it. Nope, didn't do it right. Oh yeah, because this is still open. This is still open. Yeah. So old habits die hard, I guess. Well, at least when it comes to me. Okay, so then we open up the shell again. Let me get a file open. So I got to close that up. Close that. Close the program. And then open it. Open the new one. All right, so check this out. So now, let's run it. We got print x comma y. And we got this y. Let's do it. Run module. Okay. Sometimes I click over here just in case. So 0.5, 0.6. Okay, not bad. So that's kind of similar to, but what's wrong with the situation here? The 0.6, is that really supposed to be it? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure. Oh, we figured it out. Well, yeah, I messed up. I messed up big time. Okay, so let me just maximize this so you guys can see how horrible my error was. All right, so, okay, so, but yeah, so looking at obviously 1.8, and from what we're going to assume, we're going to have a lot of different decimal numbers. Like they're just going to be these long, 10-digit, 6-digit, 20-digit numbers. In 1.8, they've been truncated to 6 digits after the decimal. But as the book states, chapter 1, number 7, the problem that we're on, that it's not gonna be as pretty as that table because we don't know how to set up the tables, how to truncate decimals or how to round down, etc. So that's chapter 5. So all right, so here's where it is, the x's. So let's make the y's. Y equals 3.9 times x minus 3.9 times x times x. Then we save it. Go here. Click on here. Oh, make sure we X out of this, which I haven't been doing. Now we're going to open. So now we X out of that chaos.py. Now we go to Python. I think it'll let us open it now. So it's really being patient with yourself, even if you make mistakes. It's really important to remember. You're not alone, especially when it comes to CS. All right, here it is. Let's run it. All right, let's do it. Okay, so now, so you type it and you see how it got all messed up? It's because we can't see the cursor. So let's click into that cursor part. Sometimes it doesn't set you up perfectly, so you got to sort of help it along. Okay, so 0.5, 0.6. There we go. All right. All right. Now, while that's running, because we know we can do it while it's running, let's see if we can do these quotes. I don't think we can. Do you think we can? I don't think we can, but let's try it anyways. Now we're going to X out of the program. Just finish running. See it up here? Just finish running. Now we're going to run it again. Or now we're going to open it, excuse me. So now let's go to Python. chaos.py just got revised. Let's run it. Okay, make sure we fix it. Okay, we got that. How come that's not going to work? How come? It's something to do with data types. But it works. We can have the quotation marks here because we're not concatenating them. Remember, commas and pluses are different. So pluses are concatenating. That's the same data type. I'm not positive we learned that in chapter 1 of this book, but it's something that even if you didn't know it for sure, just by virtue of like messing around with the early problems that we've been doing in the first chapters, we could still mess around and see that. I'm pretty sure it was in this first chapter, but even if it wasn't, we can sort of try to sniff around, try to poke around, and just try stuff. That's the beauty of learning, is like just trying stuff. And even if it's challenging, it's like, this is why hard work is its own reward. Because if you've worked really hard, um, you know, in general, in a lot of like learning realms, then you won't feel so out of place. But I always say you can start tomorrow. You know, you didn't start working really hard until last year or 5 years ago when you turned 13 or 17 or or 57. I mean it. I mean I mean I'm sure people work hard. You're kind of forced to work hard. Um, but especially when you're young, guys, like hard work really is its own reward, because then you can sort of navigate when stuff gets tough, and just keep plugging away, and you fail, you get shut down, and just keep on climbing up like a phoenix in the ashes. Keep climbing up, and get back on the horse and trying again. So this is another example. Like, this is a small example, small like illustrative example. But yeah, like what's it? What are we gonna have? An error? Maybe. But the commas work fine. The commas add a space, and that's all they do. But we can use different data types. Remember, this is a float, and this is a float, and this is a string. It's an empty string, empty spaces. And what do we learn? We learn that these spaces, whether it's a function, or whether it's a print function, and you've got print parenthesis 2 times 9, and you spread out the 2 and the 9 really, really far, like it'll work fine. But here, what we learned is with Python 3, they let you have those number of spaces. They read those spaces because that's what we're printing. So this is what we're printing. That's a beautiful thing. So we've been given spaces, so we're allowed to have that many spaces. And yeah, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 3 spaces. This actually visibly, it actually feels like more. So it's one of those things where I think they just bless us with more. This definitely looks like 5. But it's okay. I mean, these are just the things that you want to just think about, as opposed to like running through everything and just like, oh, I want to solve this, solve that. Like, it's like, okay, let me solve what he wants me to solve. Let me think about that, but then let me think around that, right? Think, how can I remember this? What does this make me think of? What is, like, usually the way I think about commas is, if I put a comma in a sentence, I'm always going to skip a space. When I'm doing a list, I got to get this, comma this, comma this. You're always going to have a space. So that's, but just however you remember it, you just want to slowly and just process these things. I don't know how this is going to help me. I'm just pretty sure that I'm going to have to learn it eventually. These tiny little details are going to be like the fly in the ointment, if we don't like figure them out eventually, so yeah, so that space, those 3 spaces, nope, doesn't create 3 spaces. It's a lot more than 3. It looks like 6 to me. Let's count the zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces. 5 spaces. Interesting. So it's probably, just general, or what do you think? Maybe it was 3 plus. Oh, it was 5. Oh my God, someone's probably correcting me right now. Dozens of you are probably correcting. Oh, um, but or just yelling at the monitor. No, Mike, you're wrong. But yes, this thing is awesome. Python is amazing. So it's the 3 spaces plus the space that the comma creates here, plus the space that the comma creates here. So, awesome. So I learn every day. I don't purport to know it all, and I really am glad that um, you know that I'm going over this, because it just helps me as well. Helps me as I'm learning as well, all the way around. Thank you very much if you checked out these videos, and hopefully you stick around for chapter 2 and beyond. Thanks a lot.